Bonjour la classe. Hello class. Today we are going to be going over the present tense of regular ER, IR, and RE verbs in French. First, we're going to take a look at what this tense means. Second, we're going to learn how to form it. And third, we're going to do some sample sentences together. Please don't forget, you may pause this video at any time if you need a little extra time to write down your notes. In French, the simple present tense indicates an action or state of being that is taking place at the present time. For example, je parle means I speak. We call the present tense simple because it is formed with only one verb. In future videos, you will be learning about composed tenses like the passé composé that are formed with two verbs. The present tense is much more complicated in English than it is in French. In English, there are three main ways to describe events taking place in the present. Let's look at some examples. In English, je parle français means I speak French. I speak is an example of the simple present tense in English. Depending on the context, however, we may want to translate je parle in the present progressive tense. I am speaking French. Finally, when you want to talk about an action that you started in the past and are still doing, you use the simple present tense in French. Je parle français depuis 10 ans. In English, however, a statement of this kind requires the use of the present perfect progressive. I have been speaking French for 10 years. Today we are just going to be looking at verbs that are formed regularly in the present tense. These verbs belong to three different categories: ER, IR, and RE verbs. ER verbs like parler, whose infinitives end in ER. IR verbs like finir, or to finish, whose infinitives end in IR. And finally, RE verbs like vendre, or to sell, whose infinitives end in RE. We say that these verbs are regular because all of the verbs that fall into one of these three categories are conjugated the same way. Please take a minute to copy down the following list of common ER, IR, and RE verbs into your notes. To conjugate these verbs in the present tense, the first thing you need to do is to remove the ending ER, IR, or RE from the infinitive. This will give you the stem, or, as we sometimes call it, radical. For ER verbs, remove ER from the infinitive. For example, for the verb parler, this gives us the stem parle. For IR verbs, remove IR from the infinitive. For the verb finir, this gives us the stem fin. For RE verbs, remove RE from the infinitive. For the verb vendre, this gives us the stem vend. Now that you have found the stems for these verbs, you need to add the appropriate endings depending on the person. That means the endings that correspond to I, you informal, he, she, we, you formal, or they. For regular ER verbs like parler, you add E, ES, E, ONS, EZ, ENT to the stem. Je parle, tu parles, il, elle, on parle, nous parlons, vous parlez, il, elle parle. For regular IR verbs like finir, you add IS, IS, IT, ISSONS, ISSEZ, ISSENT. Je finis, tu finis. Il, elle, on finit. Nous finissons. Vous finissez. Il, elle finissent. For regular RE verbs like vendre, you add s, nothing, ons, easy, ent. Je vends, tu vends, il, elle, on vend. Nous vendons, vous vendez, il, elle vendent. Especially compared to English, these endings may seem rather complicated. Fortunately, there are songs to help you remember them. The ER verb song goes something like this. E-E-S-E-O-N-S, easy, E-N-T. The IR verb song goes to the tune of the Mexican hat song. I-S-I-S-I-T, I-S-S-O-N-S, I-S-S-E-Z, I-S-S-E-N-T. The RE verb song is sung to the same melody as the ER verb song. It goes like this. S-S-O-N-S, easy, E-N-T. Maintenant, faisons des exemples. Now let's do some sample sentences. Numéro 1. I speak French. Je parle français. Numéro 2. The children obey their parents. Les enfants obéissent à leurs parents. Numéro 3. We sell our car. Nous vendons notre voiture. Bien, aujourd'hui vous avez appris le présent des verbes réguliers en français. Please remember, to finish mastering this new tense, you need to complete the online activities right next to this video. Bon courage et à bientôt!